What's up everybody, WayoftheBey here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the B179 Death Solomon. Alright, so this is the B179 Death Solomon. So this is the last and latest Super King Beyblade in the line of Super King. After that, we're moving on to Beyblade Burst Dynamite Battles. So a very cool recolor of a Beyblade. This is Death Solomon. Death Solomon is a right-spinning balance type Beyblade. So looking at the side of the box first, we have the balance type logo. It's part of the burst system, moves or spins, right spin, and is Super King. On the other side, we see Death Solomon in its spinning motion. Then on the back of the box, we see its parts and its stats. So up here, you can see its stats. This is a balance type Beyblade, so it has a little bit of everything. Over here, you see the actual layer and the driver. And then over here, you see all of its parts. So we have the Death Ring, the Solomon chip, the 2B chassis, and the new driver, Metal Fusion. So a lot of these parts are recolored to look nice red, and overall a really cool recolor. So this is, I guess, an official Super King release, not part of a random booster, an actual release, which is pretty strange for a recolor. But this might show up in the anime. I'm not completely sure how it's going to do all that, but here it is. So now let's actually open the box. Here we have our dragon dagger. All right, so let's open the box, cut it away from us. There it is. All right, we'll move that out the way. And let's see what's inside. All right, so there it is, cardboard, and we have Death Solomon right here, and the stickers, combo guide, and the instructions. So let's take it all out and look at the Beyblade. Alright, so here's everything out of the packaging. So we have the layer, the chassis, and the driver. Before we take a look at the Beyblade, let's take a look at the combo guide. So looking at it, it does have some combos with the new parts from Death Solomon. We have an attack, a defense, and a balance type combo right there if you'd like to make it with those parts. And then we have an advertisement for the new Beyblade Burst Dynamite Battle series coming out April 24th this year. So a new system, new Beyblades, and tons of more awesome battles. So stay tuned for more content on that. But looking at Death Solomon. So we have Death Solomon 2B Metal Cell or Metal Fusion. So first, let's take a look at the driver. The driver is nothing crazy special except that it is a metal driver. This is fusion, so that means it has a little tip right there. Not a cell, but fusion. Here it is. And it is metal, which means the little plastic tab that makes contact with the teeth is metal, making clicking very tight. It has the spring of a dash driver, but is metal and it is tighter. So it's pretty much making your Beyblade unburstable, which is pretty crazy. So one problem with these metal drivers that I'd like to warn you all about is that it will damage your teeth, so use it very sparingly. I will definitely use it sparingly. Probably after this, I'll put it to the side and use it once in a while. But overall, a pretty nice looking combo. Looks a lot like the Exceed Dash driver. But overall, a really cool metal driver. Looking at the chassis is 2B. 2B originally came from World Spriggan, and it is a nice red recolor compared to the gold from World Spriggan's 2B. And 2B is a nice dual spin chassis. It is a double chassis, so it takes the place of a disc and chassis, and you can move the ring around it. So on some combos it's free spinning, but in most it locks into place. So you can move the ring however you want it, and when it locks into place, those blades won't move. So it's a pretty good balance type chassis. Now looking at the best part, the layer. So the layer is Death Solomon. So the Death Ring and the Solomon chip. Overall, it looks really nice. I do like the purple and the red design to it. The purple on one side and the red on the other looks very nice. The Death Ring is a pretty good right spinning ring. It is a pretty good attack type ring, nothing compared to Rage or Brave, but does have some good smash attack if you want to get some crazy ring outs. And the Solomon chip is really good because it is the heaviest Super King chip. So if you're having some defense or heavy hidden attack type combos, Solomon is a pretty good chip for choice. And it is only right spin, so it is limited to right spinning combos. And it does have a chip core, which means you can swap it out with a metal chip core, making it even heavier. And what's awesome about this is we have Solomon. Solomon originally only came in Brave Solomon, a lottery prize Beyblade. So that was almost impossible for many to get, but now that we have Death Solomon, it is a lot easier, and it is a good chip, so it's going to be in a bunch of amazing combos. But putting it all together, we have Death Solomon. We're going to grab 2B, line it up how we want it, put the ring on, Death Solomon 2B with Metal Fusion. So here it is, put it together, and it has some good clicks, pretty tight, and I doubt it'll burst in these test battles. But now that we put the Beyblade together and taken a look at it, let's go to the basic Takara Stadium to test this Beyblade out. Alright, so here we are at the basic Takara Stadium, testing out Death Solomon. So let's see how it does. You have the right spinning sparking launcher. Let's see if we can even put the Beyblade on. There it is. Ready, 3, 2, 1, let it rip! Alright. And it's moving pretty smoothly. Now it is spinning on that little tip on the fusion driver, so it's pretty balanced. Alright, it just goes to the center. Alright, so now we're going to be doing some test battles. So we have Death Solomon going up against these 4 Super King Beyblades. And for the first battle, we have Mirage Fafner going up against Death Solomon. We're going to 2 points. Ready, 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Alright, so it lands. It started to scrape, but making some contact. Ooh, some heavy attacks and getting a ring out right there. Now looking here, it did click a little. So it is pretty loose actually, not really making contact completely with the teeth, but I'm not sure exactly why. But it didn't burst, and as you saw, it dealt some heavy attacks. And against against Mirage Fafner, which it can absorb spin, just got thrown around. So let's do another one. Ready, 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Ooh, once again, both going back and forth. Death Solomon was hit into the pocket, but recovered. Now both are fighting. So we're gonna be able to see how Death Solomon does going down to stamina. Ooh, scraping and out of stamina right there. Once again, a little clickery, but that's probably because it went to the pocket, got all messed up and shook. But didn't do so well with stamina, started to scrape. So that's how it does with stamina. Now let's actually move on. Ready, 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Alright, Death Solomon going back and forth. Mirage Fafner doing pretty good, absorbing some spin. And just keeps on absorbing. Death Solomon doesn't seem to be in some good attacks. Mirage Fafner is hit back, but not going into the pocket. And going down to stamina. Scraping and loses that battle against Mirage Fafner. So that was Death Solomon versus Mirage Fafner. So now let's actually see how it does against World Spriggan. World Spriggan will be in left spin, free spin 2B. Ready, 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Alright, so both land. Death Solomon dealing some attack, scraping, and World Spriggan just attacking, going back and forth. Some good, calm movement. Both have a pretty good grip on the stadium floor, and World Spriggan is just defending from all of Death Solomon's attacks. Ooh, both started to scrape, but World Spriggan had more stamina than Death Solomon. So it is sort of the fusion metal, or the metal fusion driver, not the best stamina driver, but pretty good. And this time we're actually going to have World Spriggan in right spin with the 2B chassis locked in place. So let's see how Death Solomon does. Against the same spin, let's see. Ready, 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Alright, this time World Spriggan just dealing some more aggressive attacks. And since they are opposite, or since they are now the same spin, there won't be some absorbing attacks. And as you saw right there, Death Solomon was thrown into the pocket by World Spriggan. So World Spriggan actually wins that with 2 points. Now let's move on to the next Beyblade. Alright, so we have Death Solomon going up against Brave Valkyrie. Hopefully Death Solomon can win this battle. Hasn't been doing so well so far, but let's see how these two aggressive Beyblades do. Ready, 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Ooh, alright. So Death Solomon and Brave Valkyrie went back and forth with some attacks, and Brave Valkyrie which went into the pocket. So Death Solomon gets 1 point with that ring out finish. Ready, 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Alright, so this time Brave Valkyrie going around. Got a pretty good attack right there. Now going around. Let's see if actually Brave can get a burst so we can actually see how good the metal driver is with this combo. Alright, both going around. Seems like going down to stamina. Ooh, never mind. Brave just dealt an attack and Death Solomon defended. Brave went into the pocket. So Death Solomon finally wins one battle against Brave Valkyrie. So now let's go on to the final battle. And the final battle is Rage Longinus versus Death Solomon. All right, let's see how it does. Both are pretty aggressive. Rage will definitely get some crazy ring outs. Let's see how the heavy Death Solomon does. Ready, 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Ooh, as you see, instantly going for the attack. Ooh, very close to getting a ring out, but seemed to stay in the center. Ooh, lots of good ring attacks. And it's out of stamina right there. Those were some pretty aggressive attacks, and Death Solomon took it all and was out of stamina. So Rage Longinus gets that with 1 point. Ready, 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Ooh, some good attacks. Rage going in. Death Solomon surprisingly staying in the stadium, not getting thrown out by Rage's crazy attacks. So as you can see, it does pretty good staying in the stadium, but not so good with stamina, losing a battle to Rage Longinus. So that is going to be it for all our battles. Death Solomon lost against Mirage, World, and Rage Longinus, but did win against Brave. Brave wasn't heavy enough and wasn't very defensive, so it didn't do so well. But Death Solomon, overall, it's pretty good. I'd say the worst part of this Beyblade is going to have to be that Metal Fusion driver. Now, Fusion, not a horrible driver, but not the best either. There are definitely better drivers. You can change it to Atomic, you can change it to Destroy Dash, maybe even Extend Plus. Just a driver that has better attack or stamina or even balance. But Fusion, pretty fine with that metal. It could be handy in some combos, but I don't really see myself using it. So that's probably the worst part of it. To be nice red recolor, very awesome and very happy about that. Along with Death using some pretty good combos. Best part of the combo, or best part of this Beyblade, is most likely going to have to be the Solomon chip. You're definitely going to see that in a lot of WayoftheBeys and CBTs. So stay tuned for those. But that was Death Solomon. Now, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't yet. But that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching WayoftheBey.